Across sectors in 2025, AI was a catalyst for reorganizations, not a universal pink slip machine. Capital spending surged into data centers and model deployment, particularly in the US and Europe. That investment coincided with ongoing cost discipline after the 2022 to 2023 over-hiring cycle. When layoffs did arrive, companies often cited both macro conditions and AI efficiency. Reuters captured that dynamic early in the year. Big tech's year of efficiency may be over, but cuts kept coming as firms poured money into generative AI. Two additional patterns defined 2025: hiring freezes plus attrition in back office and customer support functions as AI tools matured. IBM's widely reported 2023 stance, pausing hiring for roles it expected AI to absorb, proved a template others echoed in 2024 to 2025. Operating model pivots. Several companies cut staff while explicitly redirecting spending to AI infrastructure and products. Microsoft's mid-2025 rounds, for instance, were framed against heavy AI capex and organizational streamlining. Where AI did replace roles. Strictly documented cases of AI substitution were concentrated in customer support, translation/localization, and some HR/administrative workflows. Two emblematic examples. Duolingo trimmed contractors in content translation/writing as it leaned on AI to generate more of that work. The company confirmed cutting about 10% of its contractor pool, attributing part of the shift to AI. Klarna publicized an AI assistant handling the equivalent workload of 700 agents and later described a smaller overall headcount achieved largely via attrition while the bot took over 2/3 of chats. That's not one-to-one 700 layoffs, but it did shrink the need for human agents. Meanwhile, the call center/BPO sector absorbed visible pressure from customer service automation. Teleperformance's 2024 market shock, driven by investors' fear that AI would disintermediate call volumes, set the tone for 2025 discussions of task substitution in that industry. The 5 enterprises with the most clearly documented AI-linked reductions. Below are the 5 organizations with the strongest public, source-backed links between staff cuts, or foregone hiring, and AI in 2024 to 2025. Where possible, I quantify AI-attributed roles rather than broader, macro-driven layoffs. When the firm itself framed changes as attrition or hiring freezes rather than direct terminations, I say so. 1. BT Group, UK Telecom. Scale, up to 55,000 roles cut by 2030, over 40% of workforce, with 10,000 explicitly expected to be replaced by AI across customer service and network operations. 2025 commentary from BT's new CEO suggested AI efficiencies could deepen the original plan. Mechanism: fiber rollout completion, fewer field engineers, plus generative AI service automation, virtual assistant, call handling. Evidence: initial 2023 announcement, 2025 leadership updates confirming AI's expanding role. 2. Klarna, payments/fintech. Scale: AI assistant, doing the work of 700 full-time agents. Company reported headcount fell from 5,000 to 3,800 largely via attrition while AI took 2/3 of chats and slashed resolution times. Mechanism: generative AI customer service agent deployed across markets, hiring freeze outside engineering. Evidence: company press release and third-party coverage, later reporting described the contraction mostly attrition, and stronger revenue per employee tied to the bot. 3. IBM, Enterprise IT. Scale: 7,800 back-office jobs projected to be replaced by AI/automation over several years, primarily achieved through hiring pauses and natural attrition, not a single mass layoff. Mechanism: HR and other non-customer-facing functions automated, net effect is fewer new hires and gradual role elimination. Evidence, CEO's 2023 statement, still the clearest, quantified commitment by a blue chip, remained a touchstone for 2025 corporate playbooks. 4. Duolingo, Consumer EdTech. Scale, 10% of contractors cut as AI assumed more content generation and translation tasks, smaller in absolute terms but unusually direct about AI replacing specific work. Mechanism, generative models draft or translate course content, humans review. Evidence, company confirmation to major outlets at the time. 5. UPS, Logistics. Scale, 12,000 jobs cut in early 2024 as management layers were streamlined, executives discussed AI and automation improving productivity, though the primary driver cited was revenue/margin pressure. Mechanism, workflow automation and analytics reduced span of control needs in management, with AI cited as a contributing efficiency factor alongside cost cuts. Evidence, company's reduction announcement, contemporaneous analysis noted AI's role in reshaping white-collar work, even if not the sole cause here. Important nuance, some widely covered 2025 big tech layoffs, for example, Microsoft, were narratively tied to AI pivots, but not presented as AI replacing the same people's jobs. In Microsoft's case, the company made sizable cuts while emphasizing heavy AI infrastructure spending and operational simplification. That's AI adjacent, but not the same as swapping humans for a chatbot. Sector by sector, who's most exposed? Customer service/BPO, first in the line of fire. Generative bots now handle large volumes of level 1 issues. Human agents are increasingly reserved for escalations, identity theft, or complex cases. Even bullish coverage acknowledges jobs have been lost, though many firms are also rehiring specialists for high-stakes tickets. Back office/administration, HR, finance ops, procurement, and compliance saw fewer net new roles as document processing, summarization, and workflow orchestration matured. IBM's approach, attrition over abrupt cuts, was widely emulated. Localization/translation and copy ops, content shops and app makers, Duolingo is the clear example, reduced dependence on human translators/writers for first drafts, QA and brand voice oversight remain human-led. What 2025 taught leaders and workers? 1. AI explains some, not all, of the job losses. Many press releases blended AI efficiency with broader cost and demand rationales. Analysts repeatedly warned against over-attributing. 2. Attrition beats abrupt layoffs for AI transitions. Where companies quantified AI's impact, IBM, Klarna, they often emphasized freezing hiring and redeploying staff rather than mass firings. 3. Tasks go first, not whole professions. 2025 produced convincing evidence that level 1 support, rote translations, and some admin tasks can be automated at scale. Higher judgment work remained sticky. 4. Investment trade-offs are real. Firms funding multi-billion euro AI/data center programs offset costs via headcount changes, even when those changes weren't one-for-one replacements. Microsoft's mid-year cuts exemplified that balancing act. Bottom line. In 2025, AI did replace specific categories of work, most visibly in customer support and translation, and it clearly suppressed hiring in back-office roles. Yet the biggest employment effect came from reallocation. Spending shifted into AI while companies held the line on headcount or trimmed layers to pay for it. The starkest, most quantified substitution remains BT's plan to swap roughly 10,000 roles for AI by 2030, already shaping its 2025 staffing path. Klarna, IBM, Duolingo, and UPS round out the list where reliable public sources tie workforce reductions, or the absence of new hiring, directly to AI's spread. If you're tracking true AI-driven job loss, not just generic cost-cutting, follow these 5, and the call center ecosystem around them, into 2026. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next one.